What's up, YouTube? Today I'm replacing the pressure switch on my pressure tank for my well. I've had this tank and pressure switch right here probably since, I don't know, it's probably been here for 12 to 15 years. The problem with these is the contacts on the back of here go out, or they get corroded or get dirt on them, or something does it, something falls off a contact to where it no longer makes contact and sends out the 220 to your well pump like you need. So you can take a piece of sandpaper, a little file or something like that with the electric off and open this up and go down in there and clean them up. But after doing that so many times, they'll eventually wear away, fall off, all that, and it no longer work. I should have probably already said this, but this is your 110 coming in from your well. I mean, from this, the outside legs are from your panel. The inside legs go out to your actual well pump. I've already tested all these. So to test these, you would put, positive, negative, or your black and your red to test the outside. Make sure you have 0. Test the insides, make sure you have 0. Then ground, black down here, and then you test your red positive on each one of these and make sure you have no voltage. You don't want to shock yourself. 220 is a lot different than 110, and it'll really grab you. Anyways, I'm going to replace this. It's not that hard. So now that I know I have all of my electric off, and I'm not going to get hurt, I'm going to take these off. I would also suggest that you take pictures of how these are on here. I should probably start off with the Phillips in the first place. If I can find one. Let me use a fatter flathead. Take a picture of this, which I'm going to do right now, even though I'm video recording it, of the way they go on there, so that way when you put them back on, it's no questions asked. Okay, those are off. Let's see. Man, that's super corroded. So I go ahead and use a screwdriver to take that off. I'm going to pause this. It might take a second. Okay, I took the old one off. Got those wires out of there. This is a brass nipple. So this is what goes down onto there. And then this is a new one. I'm going to screw right back on top of there. Important thing is that you thread tape these. You always want to go the same direction as it would be screwed on there. We can see this. You can do like 3 passes. You want to do both sides. And come on. Okay. Now that's on there. Go ahead and put this back down on there. Make sure you don't cross thread it. So I'll try getting this one up with my channel locks to where I think it's nice and snug. That's pretty low. Okay, that's pretty good. Let me go ahead and make sure the camera's on this. Leave that screw on your pressure switch, which that seems to be like a problem. What I'll do, let me see here. I will just bend these over for now. I don't really know what else. I'm not a plumber. This isn't something I do regularly at all. Wish I wasn't doing this one. So if there's a better idea someone has, go ahead and leave that. But for me, all right. Then you bend it back. I don't know how else you get it farther away unless you put a little 90 right here and had it coming over. So that's what we're going to do. Take your adjustable wrench down here. These wrenches always loosen up. Try to make one more full turn. I don't want to over tighten it, but I don't want it to leak. Okay, so tighten that. Let me get the wires back in here, and I'll be right back. Alright, got this back in there, tighten that up. It comes with a little plug right here that you can put back in it. Guess because, you know, wires only be coming from one way. They could possibly be coming from two ways. If your breaker wires coming here and your well wires come over there. Anyways, mine don't do that. Unscrew these. Look at my picture. So what I'm going to do first, while those get in the way, I'm going to move those out of the way. Put my ground down here. So this ground doesn't have a little terminal on the end, so I'm just going to wrap it around this screw. See how much I have to go. My dad always told me when you're putting something like this on here, when you want to wrap these wires or go around an outlet or anything, you always want to wrap it the same way the screws turn, so that way as you're turning the screw in, it's grabbing it, tightening it, and pulling it with itself. Oops, as I hit the camera. Alright, ground is on there. Let's see what colors are next. Black, blue, red, white. There's black, blue, red, and white. Make sure those are all pushed up in there. As you're tightening it, you see right there it already came loose a little bit. Push it in, tighten it, push it in, tighten it. And our last one, same thing. Alright, that's really all there is to it. It's really not that hard. Push these wires out of the way so that when we put our cover back on there, it'll fit nice. So I'm going to go, well, let me close this valve because that should have this open. I'm going to go hit that breaker real quick and see if she works. Alright, I'm going to go hit that breaker and make sure this turns on. Alright, and it's turning on. Now this might take a second, but once that gets up to about 60, it should cut off. What you're hearing right now is all the water going back through the softener system, going back through all the lines, because I cracked this down here. So all the water from all the systems reached the lowest point and it's drained out. So this might take a second for everything to fill back up. Check right here to make sure there's no water coming out. We have 0 leaks. It also doesn't have full pressure yet. You can hear that in the background. Like I said, it's filling up I have a Kinetico system and all that. It's because I'm out here on well water, and man, it's in Ohio, it's, I guess, I don't know if it's the same way everywhere else, but we have a lot of iron in our water. You've probably seen the salt bags over here. We go through probably an entire pallet a year, a pallet and a half. I also have a line that's ran out to my pool that's ran through the softener, so that takes a lot of salt out as well. And yeah, we're getting up there to about 60. Now what should happen here in a second is once it reaches where it wants to be, this little pressure switch back here should back out. Or not pressure switch. Oop, there it went. I'm not going to touch this now because I have I can touch this plastic back here, but I won't touch this metal. This is all on. But as you saw, maybe if you saw, those contacts released. These contacts back here, these copper contacts, when it got to 60 psi, it went ahead and backed off, and it told the well pump, well, it took 220 back from the well pump and turned it off, so that way it would let the pump turn off. So it's all full to where it needs to be. Now I want to show you something else. Let me turn this off, but I'll show you how it kicks back on. Alright, so everything's filled back up, got up to 60, then went back down for a second. But what's going to happen is when this pressure gauge gets below 40, you see it's sitting about 40. When it gets below 40, because this is a 40 to 60 psi pressure switch, so about 38 pounds, which is what I filled this tank up to right here. So you should fill your tank up through your shade valve. It's a whole different conversation, but this should be full of 38 pounds because it's a 40 to 60 pressure switch. Whenever this pressure switch gets below 40, so let's say 38, you'll see those contacts right there, the copper ones. They're connect, and that's what gives it 220 out to the well. So I'm going to open this valve down here, and you'll see in just a second. There it went. It just clicked and told the well to turn on. So now we're going to look back down here. So that contact will remain closed like that and give the well 220 until this reaches just about 60, maybe a little bit more than 60. So watch for that. And you'll hear it click off once it hits 60, right around 60. Boom. Now you see that? Now it should remain at 60 until someone turns water on. And your gauge will go back down to 40. When it hits 38, our connections up here are going to connect again and tell the well to turn on. So, like I said, I'm not a plumber or anything like that. I've just lived in a couple houses that have well pumps and pressure switches and all that out here in the country. So, I've done this a few times. So honestly, a lot of this I learned. My dad's an electrician, so he's taught me about the pressure switch. But there's a lot of videos on YouTube, and I just wanted to make a video to try to make a real easy, do-it-yourself, an explanation as well of how to do this. You don't need to pay someone $500 to do this. The pressure switch itself was $50. Yeah, I think 50, $45 or $50. And as you can see, I don't know how long this video it is, but if I wasn't videoing it and push and play and stop and everything, you can replace one of these in 10 minutes. It's not hard. I would say, once again, the first thing for sure that you want to do is make sure that you turn off your electricity. Very, very important. You do not want to get hit with 220. Well, I gotta get. I think this top bolt right here or nut is a 5/16. I'm gonna set that on there. I'll go get a 5/16. I may just keep it like that. Anyways, there it is. Do it yourself. An explanation of pressure switch, how it works, and hope someone liked that. Thanks for watching.